Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we're taking a look at a very unique watch from a not so known brand called Cuervo y Sobrinos, or Cuervo and Nephews. A brand founded in 1882 originates from Cuba, or Havana to be more precise. They started as a watch and jewelry store that not only sold the most iconic brands, but also had special editions of those brands as boutique exclusives, much like the Tiffany Rolexes. These Cuervo and Sobrinos branded models included watches from Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Longines. As the business of selling watches grew, they expanded to America and Europe, and finally in 1928, they bought a watch factory in Switzerland, starting production of their own watches. They kept doing so until the late 1965, when the company was nationalized, and kept dormant until 1996, when it was revived. From 2001, they started building an authorized dealer network, and in 2002 came to Basel for the first time. 2005 marks their creation of an in-house made chronograph movement, and 2007 they even created their own tourbillon, giving them street cred as a real manufacturer. Today, their lineup consists of mostly watches powered by modified versions of third-party movements, like ETA, Salida, and Soprod, with an occasional limited edition made fully in-house. What I love about them is the fact they always name the origin movement in their spec sheets, being fully transparent, something many brands avoid these days. The design of most of their watches is unique and one might say quite flamboyant. Check out their Pirato line to see what I mean. That makes them a bit of a love-hate kind of a brand, but no matter what category you fall into, you must agree they're anything but boring. And I like that, even if I don't agree with some of their designs. This watch, on the other hand, despite the very prominent lugs, is actually quite tame and restrained compared to its brethren. The reason is the fact it is a recreation of their chronograph from 1946. And while most brands that recreate their vintage watches focus on creating the look with modern proportions and a modern equivalent of the original movement, Cuervo and Sobrinos actually uses the movement that was originally used more than 50 years ago. With 100 pieces available in white dial and 100 in black, it means they had to find and fully restore 200 Landeron 248 movements used in this, and that is worth some respect. The movement is visible through the sapphire caseback in all its glory, and it is a true joy to look at. It is manual wind, beats at very vintage 18,000 bph, and comes with a 45-minute chronograph and a small seconds display. Where it differs from the usual chronographs is the operation. Usually you have a start-stop button and a reset button, but on this, the start is used only for starting, while the reset button is used for both stopping and resetting. Being a restored movement, you will see irregularities on some of the cogs, and it gives it a bespoke look, as I'm sure each one will look a bit different. The finishing is nothing to write home about, but there is some beveling on the few bridges that are visible. I especially like the large balance wheel and its slow, lazy movement. It gives a relaxed vibe, especially when I compare it to my high-beat King Seiko, where the balance wheel looks hectic and like it will explode any second. The watch itself is very beautiful and reasonably sized at 40 mm. Sadly, the prominent spider lugs, the very detail that gives the watch its character, is also the only drawback, if you have small wrists like mine, as they're massive, and not only increase the lug-to-lug of the watch to more than 51 mm, but also make the watch wear a lot larger. But if you have a medium or larger wrist, you should be fine. The whole watch is polished to a mirror finish, and it looks expensive because of it. The polishing is flawless, but it is also a fingerprint magnet. I would wipe down the watch and carefully place it on a stand for recording, and it would still end up having my fingerprints all over. The crystal is a slightly curved sapphire that gives a crystal clear view of the beautiful dial and heat-blued hands. The hands, just like the case, are very well finished and change the color depending on the light, being black most of the time and then showing their blue finish when the light hits them at the right angle. The watch is paired to a glossy blue alligator strap and an impressive deployant buckle that features the brand's logo. The strap is a bit stiff, so it does require a wear-in period. They also included quick-release pins so you can change straps with ease, although I find the factory strap to match the watch perfectly, in both style and color. Being a limited run, and the fact it uses a restored vintage movement does affect the price. That is a bit on the high side at just under 4,000 euros. But you do really get a piece of history restored, and we can only speculate how many movements they had to source to be able to fully restore 200 of them. I really respect the fact they didn't go the easy route and just slap in a current production run-of-the-mill chronograph, as it shows there was passion and love involved in making this. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.